interaction where the waiter gives him a free coffee and says, "I just like your vibe," and that's because right before Hasan asked the waiter who he thinks killed Charlie Kirk. Imagine being that guy reading this article and finding out you comped the drink for a guy who told one of the biggest publications in the country that the conspiracy theory you believe in is dumb as fuck. Yeah, but I thought about that. I consider that as well, but it's not like they're fucking literally profiling the person or outing them. You know what I mean? They don't actually say what the restaurant is, so it's there's no harm, no foul in general. You should try some Chinese nicotine pouches. Do they have them? Anyway. That waiter's on Canaries. Yeah, that's my bad. Well, I'm on Canary mission too, waiter. welcome to the good side, I guess. Oliver is cooking some fire emotes. King, it's on its way. What is this? Oh, hell yeah. CNN's Isaac Dover is not mad. A week after appearing at the center of much media attention, the Mamdani's Victor Party gets an unchallenged and promoted write-up in Variety, writing off Israel's an ethno-fascist state and saying Gal Gadot is part of a sexualization ploy by the Israeli army. Yeah, no, you're right, Edward Isaac Dover. The Israeli army definitely doesn't have IDF babe accounts. Like, maybe it's not directly the Israeli army doing it, but really? We're not gonna act like that's a marketing initiative that whitewashes what Israel does. Zero likes, no motion. It doesn't matter. It's Edward Isaac Dover. He is a CNN anchor, or not an anchor. Sorry, he's a CNN reporter who hates the Bernie bro wing and all those guys. It's like he's one of my ops in the media. He just posted it a minute ago. Also, I didn't bring up Gal Gadot. The journalist did. What is the expectation? I just hold it in? I'm not. That's kind of my whole brand, don't you think? That's just what I do. I do not hold it in. Yeah, they definitely put attractive soldiers on the funniest parts about this. And it's yet another testament to how bad Gal Gadot's acting is the fact that the actual compilation of her saying those lines is unwatchable, whereas someone actually redoing the lines in a humorous way is perfectly watchable. Okay? How is that possible? What is this? Pop the mile, I'm the mile, I'm swing. Pop the mile, I'm the mile, I'm swing. That's funny. Whatever happened to the Aussie boys coming to China? They got busy, I assume. Yeah, I've been telling Alexa to fucking pull up no matter what. Bro, I was on audio only. I thought this was her. Okay, well, that's crazy, but all right. Let's get back to the Epstein stuff, and then we're going to move on to other things as well. But yeah, this was the pre-watch Piker one was crazy mode. Visual calculus, elevated position, telescopic sight, high caliber, anyone could do it. Logic, he had a lot of enemies, and his enemies are all armed, most likely a groiper. Savoir-faire, Israel did it. Inside job, for sure. Disco Elysium. Hasan visited that restaurant before and knew the waiter's dialogue tree already. Say whatever you like. The guy has incredible instincts. This is really funny just for every birthright trip, including mine, for no reason. Exactly.
Soon, and that is bad news politically for Donald John Trump.
All right, thank you so much, Air Harry Enton. And now joining us is John Berman, hopefully.
Thank you, thank you
There
very
he is,
much.
he's over there.
I am so pleased to be with you today, Sarah
So good to
Seidman.
have you
Thank
here,
you
John.
very much. With us now also is senior politics reporter for Axios, Mark Caputo. Mark, I've been reading you for years, but overnight, your story on what's been happening in the White House really over the last 24 hours. Plus, not every story is a process story, but boy, the process here is fascinating because of how the White House is handling this. Why are they doing what they're doing?
Oh, I wonder why.
We can only speculate. And the speculation that circulates in Trump's orbit, whether it's some people around the White House, longtime advisors, confidants, is that Trump's name in some way, form, or fashion is in the Epstein files. And that really bothers him because he knows that if you have Trump and Epstein in a file, it's going to be a headline and it's going to dominate news coverage, social media discussion, be all over television. Just consider what's happened here. There wasn't a smoking gun in this tranche of emails that was released, yet it's just totally dominated everything. So imagine if there's an investigative file, a criminal investigative file or files, where Trump's name is mentioned in some form or fashion. Again, I don't know what that form or fashion is. It would be what we're seeing now, just on steroids.
And what exactly have they been doing? There's the stuff that CNN has reported on. We know about a situation room meeting with Lauren Boebert. But what else is happening behind the scenes?
Well, from what we understand, they've made a number of calls, including the president had played phone tag at one point with Nancy Mace, the South Carolina representative. And he doesn't want this, I'm sorry to use the phrase discharge petition, most people don't know what it is, but he doesn't want this measure backed by Republicans to go to the floor. But it increasingly looks like that's going to fail and there is going to be a full vote on it. Ultimately, Trump had decided in July that despite his campaign trail promise, despite the comments of his advisors, now J.D. Vance, or better said, now Vice President J.D. Vance, Pam Bondi, now the Attorney General, Kash Patel, now the FBI Director. On the campaign trail, they were saying, oh, the Epstein files are going to be released. July rolls around in 2025. Trump says, nope. And
Do they expect him to send an email saying, I, Donald John Trump, committed several counts of child sexual assault? Yeah, that's not... Honestly, maybe. Like, if you were to ask me that question a while ago, I would have been like, haha, that's funny joke chatter. But it seems like these guys were very forthcoming in these emails. Like, they literally, like, every financial elite that emailed Jeffrey Epstein at a certain point was like, hey, really loved the party last night, wink, wink. Sometimes even more aggressive, like, hey, I love trafficking children with you, right? It's the funnest thing we can do. I love doing it. Like, yeah. Every Epstein email is like, yes, I love girls. Everyone knows it. Happy birthday. MAGA, those emails could be anything. The emails in question, Jeffrey Epstein to Peter Thiel. That was fun. See you in 3 weeks. Dude, you promised me a blow up in MAGA, and today I've been told by multiple people that because the Democrats didn't release it, they actually took the time to alter the documents to print to Trump, so nothing can be trusted that comes out. That's the level of cope they're hitting. Nothing is going to change the MAGA views base besides the video of DJT sexually assaulting a child, and even then they're going to blame it on AI. No. If that were to come out, they wouldn't blame AI. They would just say it's actually cool and good that he did it, and they love doing it too. Like, there are going to be MAGA-based loyalists who will unironically ride no matter what, okay? They will dick ride no matter what is going on. They would probably blame the child and do like a what was she wearing thing, or they would just turn around and be like, who amongst us hasn't been in this situation, right? I mean, Laura Ingraham already did it. We covered it earlier. Laura Ingraham straight up turned around and did the thing. She was like, well, actually, it's a phobophilia. I mean, some 15-year-olds and 14-year-olds are attractive. And it's like, why didn't the Democrats actually release this stuff when fucking Joe Biden was president if they were actually massaging the information, okay? That's the question. The counter to that always from your friends and hog coworkers that are saying like, oh, well, Democrats obviously weaponize this. I was like, okay, dude, why didn't they? Oh, I mixed up Laura Ingraham and Megyn Kelly. Sorry, it wasn't Laura Ingraham. It was Megyn Kelly who said that. My apologies. I'm sure Laura Ingraham will end up saying it tonight. So, you know, maybe that'll be another pre-watch Piker moment. But yes, it was Megyn Kelly who said actually it's a phebophilia, not Laura Ingraham. But when your coworkers turn around and say like, oh, well, the Democrats actually massage this information, like, or they manipulate this information. It's all fake news. It's all fake news. It's a line of attack against Trump. Ask them this question. Why the fuck did they not release this manipulated information, this trove of data before the fucking election then, dumbass? Because that's such a stupid line of argumentation. It's such a stupid way to fucking argue against this position that, like, basically the counter is we'll put him on the back foot. Like, they'll be like, okay, that does really not make sense. Also, because Bill and Hillary Clinton have decades of known association with Epstein, and Maxwell and are still viewed as assets to the Democratic Party. Yeah, none of these people in these emails lovingly chatting with Epstein will face social consequences. And we know this because in 2019, it was revealed Bill Gates met with Epstein several times, and his wife of 30 plus years divorced him over it. And this basically went into a memory hole. Will there ever be a smoking gun? Chatter. The smoking gun analogy only works if someone is able to be harmed by bullets. Okay? If the current state of discourse with our maximalist political polarization, with misinformation running amok, with people having a true crisis of critical thinking and media literacy, has rendered the political information landscape to be uninhabitable for normal brain people, then there is no smoking gun. It's the same principle behind Pete Hegseth, right? It's the same principle behind why normally a candidate like Pete Hegseth would never be able to get the highest security clearance, because when they are interviewing people for top security clearances, right, where you are like handling classified information and whatnot, they actually make sure that you are not blackmailable, okay? So they look at like whether you have, you know, an alcoholism issue or a gambling issue. Brett Kavanaugh had a gambling issue, and that didn't actually stop people from, that did not actually harm him in the long run. He still became a fucking Supreme Court justice. But the reason why they look at that sort of stuff is because if you are an alcoholic, if you have gambling debt, like things of that nature, you are malleable, you are persuadable, you are blackmailable. But you are unblackmailable if you have no shame. We are coming to realize that this entire structure is basically held together by a collective understanding of morality that is falling apart. And while it was often the Republicans that said there is such a thing as objective morality, and you guys are all post what is it? What's the fucking? Oh my god, my brain is fried. It was Jordan Peterson and many Republicans that said that it was the Dems that were postmodernist or neo-Marxist or you know, engaged in cultural relativism, and that there was such a thing as objective morality. It's very obvious that it's actually the Republicans that are doing the same postmodernist analysis here, and they find ways around it. Basically, they just, it doesn't matter anymore. There is no such thing as like social stigma associated with certain things that used to exist, including but not limited to pedophilia, it seems. Do you understand? I think it's very damaging that we do not have consensus reality. I say this all the time. It's one of the worst aspects of modernity, especially in this like internet media environment, having no consensus reality is fucking terrifying. Even in like small, nonsensical, idiotic ways that obviously I encounter, right? That I experience in my day-to-day existence. Like the example I will use is this tweet that I saw that went somewhat viral 11 hours ago. Little bro went to China thinking he would be received as a celebrity, got treated as just another foreigner, got arrested, learned that nobody knows him, and now learns that Asman is popular there. Lamafayal Hasan should be elected low-cow of the year. It's just like it's a joke that I made on Will's stream that immediately got posted here, where I was like, no one should know who Asmongold is as a joke, right? Let alone motherfuckers in China. And every part about this, every part about this statement is just objectively incorrect. The preconceived notions around China are so insane that half this site genuinely believes you were arrested for some reason. Yeah, you literally got clapped by the CCP the moment you stepped an inch out of line. You shook it off like nothing ever happened and continued your propaganda tour. If you weren't a Western tourist streamer, you would likely be in jail by now. Like nothing, the truth does not matter. Observable reality does not matter. What matters is whatever the official narrative is. Okay? I said, I love how none of this has happened, but motherfuckers on this website just live in an alternative reality that fries them off of negatively framed clips they saw. We are never getting healthcare, man, is what I said. But I do think that it's not great that we don't have a shared consensus reality. Because how are you supposed to interact with one another? How are you supposed to interact with other humans, your neighbors, your fellow man, if they're just living in a fucking totally different plane of existence? Doesn't that terrify you? I mean, this is just bad. Not because like it is annoying for me. That doesn't really matter, right? In the long run. But I'm saying that this is just yet another clear-cut example of how people go, I'm biased towards, what I believe is happening in China. And I saw this tweet that claimed falsely that this guy got arrested, right? So that corresponds to my biases, right? LARPer socialist Westerner gets arrested when faced with real communism is like a very good narrative for you to lean into if you already have these preconceived biases. That person is a kick streamer just trying to get clout off your name. It doesn't matter. They keep complaining the meme somehow triggered the cops. I think this has larger societal consequences, not related to like myself. I'm just using this as a example. Okay? I'm just using this as an example of what is so dangerous about the way that things are changing. Yeah, okay. I don't think Hasan has ever stepped foot outside of major cities in China. The difference between poverty is staggering. Nobody's equal, very unequal. Hasan talks about China and what he loves about it so far is sick. Abundant style consumption paired up with centrally controlled economy. You have 1950s Soviet era building blocks next to Gucci store. If ever a country that rep the things I enjoyed. Yeah, I said China is the OG. Like China is the OG communist flag in front of the Gucci store, right? Dog, you've been there for 5 days? I know. And there have been 5 days of people losing their fucking minds over this, right? Yeah, this is the breast milk guy from Blizzard. You like capitalism then? Hyperthyroidism? You weren't even arrested. You were just interrogated. Western communists versus real communists. Gucci, but also communists. You like capitalism then? I think it's a misunderstanding. I think this is a misunderstanding. Okay? The notion that people are producing commodities is not simply a capitalist concept. Like there is no, like it's the relations that people have to the means of production that makes a society socialist or capitalist. And the reality of the matter is China is not a communist state, okay? It's not. They are moving in the direction of communism, as every single previous communist party has tried to design society through a transitional socialist state. And every single version of this has been different. There is no one size fits all. Right? Chinese netizens are supporting you because we're so used to getting smeared, lol. One netizen's message I saw said he really shouldn't bother explaining what happened to his haters. A person who wronged you knows best how you were wronged. Chinese netizens love doing poetry. Michael Malice said he wants to stand on you whole. You're in the ground. What? I don't know what that means. Among other wild things, it was crazy to hear. Are they moving towards communism or are they just doing their own thing? I mean, I can't speak to the ideological ambitions, okay? I can simply reflect on the reality of development. The reality of development and the reality of improvement of material conditions adjusted to the starting point, okay? The same goes for all socialist formations of society, whether they inevitably failed or ultimately failed. Sorry, not inevitably, or whether they are at a different stage in their transition. This is not an easy endeavor. It never has been, and it's exceptionally difficult, especially when you're coming from an agrarian society, as is the case with many of the successful socialist revolutions that have been implemented throughout history. While you're in the ground, as in on stand on your grave on After Party Podcast today. I don't know who that is, but I mean, I wish him well. I don't know what to say. Some of the most famous communist writers were wealthy. Only the wealthy could afford to read and write. It doesn't mean that they wanted a different society. Yeah, the wealth of the person, the wealth of the individual doesn't fucking matter. It's like a stupid ass argument. It's just one that is, ever present. It's one that, it's one that really people constantly lean into because they don't want to address the argument at all. When someone says, regardless of their financial background or financial status, when someone says, hey, we should improve society somewhat, there is this immediate cynicism, this immediate pessimism that people have. And I think that is a byproduct of the capitalist dogma. Yeah, you had it right with inevitably. Yeah, okay, well, I'm watching the inevitability not play itself out here in China. So what do you have to say to that? I know what you have to say to that. When you hate China, you say it's communist. When you are forced to reckon with the Chinese development and what that means for the new multipolarity, you say it's actually capitalist. That's what it is. But the real question from me to you is, where is your capital? Do you own any? Do you benefit from this system, or have you been told that you benefit tremendously from this system and the alternatives are actually really dangerous and really scary for you? Just like China is really dangerous and really scary is what you've been taught your whole life. And when you actually end up encountering or when you actually end up seeing what it looks like on the ground because of people like I Show Speed or even myself, like streaming from here, it's not like this is North Korea, you know, in terms of how shut off it is from the rest of the world. We move towards what is best for our people depending on the time and circumstance. Our greatest strength is flexibility and the ability to adapt. There is no end goal for a civilization that has survived 5,000 years and will survive for another 5,000 more. Okay, stop. I know. This is the one aspect of socialism with Chinese characteristics, the Chinese characteristics aspect that I don't necessarily I don't have any consideration for. Okay. It is also somewhat of a reactionary statement to make. It's definitely a counter-revolutionary statement to make, by my assessment. Yeah, not very materialist of you. We're not doing any dialectical materialism in that regard. I mean, it's cool and it's true. And I think it plays a role in why people feel so proud. And I understand that. But ultimately, I care not for things such as this, aside from the fact that they are important in galvanizing the working class, important in getting people organized. Same with nation-state boundaries and what they represent. But ultimately, that's not the point. And that's not something I care about. What I do care about is improving people's lives, making sure that someone who previously was relegated to peasant class, like relegated to the peasantry on the countryside, that did not get educated, that did not have working water wells, that did not have roads going to their villages, is now able to travel freely and educate themselves, learn about the world, do something meaningful, live a better life in general. That's what I care about. I want that for everyone. Okay? You're way better propagandist than Victor Gao. Gao's way too into Chinese nationalism because I don't have any care for I'm not a patriotic person. Like, I'm not. I understand the importance of patriotism in terms of like organizing a working class in certain aspects, in certain respects. But ultimately, I just care about making sure that everyone lives the best life that they can live. Okay? At its root, this is why I am a socialist. Okay? That's it. I want people to live free and prosper. I want people to be able to unlock their potential. I want people to live comfortably. We have the opportunity for all to live comfortably. That is the reality. Our technological improvements have created a universe where people could, at this point, evolve away from the capitalist mode of production. And that's for everyone. That's for the good and the bad. Which is why it was funny because, like, Ben Shapiro's talking about Sam Piker from Tiananmen Square said he has no American patriotism in his heart. No, I was talking about patriotism in general. Like, I don't feel patriotic. I've never felt patriotic. It's not a thing. I don't have any patriotism for Turkey. I don't have any patriotism for the United States of America. And it was more so a commentary on how unique of an experience that I actually watched as someone who is not necessarily a very patriotic person. Ben has been talking about you a lot recently. Didn't he decline a debate with you? Yeah, I think it's we're setting up a different one. So it might still end up happening. Actually, I should probably cook him. Don't give him the time of day he's washed. I'm going to say I'm not a patriotic person in general. You are patriotic for Israel, first and foremost. Easily deflected with dual loyalty. Dual loyalty is an anti-Semitic trope if you assume every Jewish person is actually patriotic towards Israel. There's a reason why it doesn't work for someone like fucking Miriam Adelson or Ben Shapiro. If you see a random Jewish person and you just automatically assume they care about Israel, then yeah, that is anti-Semitic. That's not the case. But if a Jewish person is literally saying, like, I care about Israel the most, it's the most important thing, what the fuck, and you should too, and you should shut the fuck up, American, if you care, if you dare defy Israel, then yeah, no, you have already laid your fucking, you've already laid it out for everyone to see. What do you mean? I can call it out. You know? Picking up what you're putting down, Yasha? Yeah. When the ever-changing imperial consensus, Israel starts thinking that Israel is no longer the U.S. interest, then yeah, dual loyalty stuff is going to be front and center like you've never seen. It's not been a problem because the interests of U.S. and Israel have been seen by the consensus as the same thing. Exactly. And it was. It was for the longest time. It was. It literally, like, was it actually good for America to be attached to Israel? No, of course not. In the same way that, like, was it actually good for America to invade Iraq? No, of course not. But was it good for the American military-industrial complex? Yes. And the same principle stands for our, allegiance to Israel as well. It's not good for Americans. It's not good for America necessarily, but it's good for capital owners who are profiting, who stand to profit from this endeavor. Also, Sean McCarthy had a good response to this. Okay, but why are major cities in China nicer than the major cities in America? I thought this country was richer. The new cope/dodge now that Americans are actually traveling to Shanghai and Beijing and seeing how much better things are there than New York City and DC is that Americans need to travel to rural China. Well, things aren't particularly great in rural America. Let's compare like to like. Because they were built over the last 20 to 30 years by people paid very little while demolishing what existed before. America could also build nice skyscrapers festooned with LEDs if they had access to hundreds of millions of people willing to work for $100 a month. After World War II, America had the highest wages in the world, and we were still able to build all the then cutting-edge infrastructure that is still in use today. This is about different government policies. Exactly. There is, like, people say, oh, it was super cheap. It was super cheap to build. That's why China was able to build it. It's like, yeah, foreign capital actually goes a long way in China as opposed to in the United States of America. That much is true. Having said that, however, what matters is that people's lives have improved. What matters is the material conditions of the average Chinese person has rapidly improved over the course of even 10 years. As I was talking to with Jake last night, Jake has been in China since 2014. He has seen the changes happen in a decade. He's seen the changes happen with his own two eyes. Now think about the past decade in America of not just stagnation, but I think like a recession. We are devolving. Degradation, decline. And I think the worse it gets, and the more people recognize that things are getting worse, some people will look to alternatives with envy. Some people will look to alternatives and say, why can't we do that? or some version of that, some Americanized version of that here. I'm that person. This is my argument always, right? And some will just close their eyes, plug their ears, and cry foul. They'll turn around and say, no, you don't understand. The situation is not as it seems. The coping and the seething. And there will be more and more coping and seething towards China. And the counter narratives against China will change. 20 years ago, the counter narratives were, oh, these guys are just building fucking houses just to make it seem like they have development happening. Okay? And maybe even at a certain point, I might have believed the fucking the fake housing concepts, you know, because I was a young boy. I wasn't really thinking too much about it. I was not asking the question, why would they do that? Why wouldn't they just put people in the houses? Like, which is such a simple fucking question to ask, right? Like, why would they just like build houses? But the houses were fake. They were made with tofu dregs, you know, stuff like that. Are you going out today? Yes. What the fuck do they think America does? America first used chattel slavery, then moved into wage slavery and still does wage slavery, and it wasn't enough to terrorize the people that they abuse. I'm not even mentioning the shit Americans do outside of America. Yeah, I know. But that's neither here nor there. The point is every country has, good things in its past, decent ambitions, things that they've done to improve mankind, and also a whole deal of pain to get there. Okay? But what's really remarkable about it is like I've seen this in being referenced about North Korea. There's this one account that I see that like always will make this same joke over and over again, where they'll be like, they had a pretty decent analysis on it. I can't figure out if I'm going to try to see if I can find it. But there was this one account that just like posts this thing where it's like Kim Jong-un, okay, fuck North Korea. Brother, first of all, when you say fuck North Korea, it's like, what has North Korea done to you? Okay? Like, I'm not saying shit is fucking sweet over there, right? I'm not saying that at all. But I just don't think that like they're building housing not to put people in it, you know? Like, it just doesn't make sense. But people rarely ever want nuanced thinking when it comes to this stuff, especially when it comes to adversaries. They want all the bad and none of the improvements. They just don't want to recognize it. Is Western ego and ethnocentrism? They think 1.4 billion Chinese will build fake things just for the Western eyes to see, that we would fake numbers to impress Westerners. Everything we do is solely for the Western man to judge. Yes, it is egocentric. And it's ethnocentric as well. For sure. They thought they were building houses not to put people in it because that's what we do here. Yeah, that's also true. We build houses for speculation. But in any case, that is what it is. Like, it is very Western-centered, right? And it is adjusted to the material realities. It is adjusted to the material conditions. When they're actually experiencing widespread famine over there, right? They go, oh, this is why socialism is abject failure. When they start building houses and start improving their material conditions, they go, oh, they're building the houses so that we feel bad about it. So that we, like, they're doing this to flex on us. It's fake. It's not to just build houses so that fucking people can live in it, you know? And it's so stupid. It's the same with like China as well. Motherfucker, they're not doing shit so that the Western world can see it and go, oh my God. They're doing it because there's 1.4 billion fucking people here. They like the cool lights on the fucking the side of the goddamn skyscrapers like you do. Like, what are you talking about? It's just another fucking country. It's another whole ass country with people living in it. They're building housing not so they can be like, see, we're flexing on you. They're not building high-speed rail to flex on us. They're doing it because they want more commerce to happen in this fucking giant country. And they want to make sure that Every city and every locality is connected to one another. It's so stupid. Do the rural citizens of China get pissed about only city investment? No. It's the opposite. The more rural areas you go, the cities are where the libbed up Chinese live. Okay? The ones that actually send their sons and daughters to the Western world to go get a college education. The ones that actually are more critical of some of the more repressive attitudes or some of the more repressive aspects on the social liberalism side that, China doesn't have. It's the rural folks that fucking ride. We saw them. We saw them at the flag raising ceremony. Go talk to a young Chinese person from any of these fucking major cities, at least as I have. And this is anecdotes. Obviously, I can't speak for all people. China's a massive country, but most people around my age or younger have not been to the flag raising ceremony at Tiananmen Square. It's the people from rural places, the elderly population especially, that go there, that visit, that take a whole fucking 24-hour trip just to go there because they're like, holy shit, my life improved so dramatically. Thank fucking God for the party. That was at the heart of my analysis. That was why I was saying I'm not a particularly patriotic person, so this flag raising ceremony is strange by my own observations. It's not for me, right? It's not something that I would ever find myself doing, right? It's not something that I would ever find myself doing. However, like the places the places that people are coming from, it's a fascinating phenomenon to observe in real time. Like, one must identify why they feel this way, how they feel this way. As correct as 2,000 Chinese, we don't really care about the flag raising and not that patriotic to the party, but have a collective pride of being Chinese. Yeah. So it's usually the rural areas that have actually that have seen tremendous improvement. Because, like, if you adjust the current conditions in the rural areas of China to the major cities, yes, it looks like a major disparity, right? It looks like a major disparity. And with your mindset, you think, oh, they are just keeping it this way somehow. It's sinister. That's not the case at all. The real disparity is the starting point versus where these places got to now, whether it be Shanghai, and I'm literally sitting in a living, breathing example of this, as I showed you in the 90s. This tower that I'm sitting inside of did not fucking exist. It was literally barren, okay? Behind me is, on the other side of the river, the western quarters, the colonial quarters, Bund, around the river bend. That's where foreign capital entered the Chinese markets. That's where the special economic zone was, and that's where one of the most developed cities in China existed, Shanghai, right? And for many, many years, the rest of China did not look like that. Now you have multiple Shanghai-style Tier 1 cities, right? That is a testament to the endless need to develop. And in terms of the rural areas, like, they have also dramatically improved. Was funny to realize that Bundes is a Hindi word because we have many buns in India everywhere too, lol. Yeah. When I was little, our family house is made of dirt. There was no road. It was just dirt and people step on it. Then I went to high school, and every weekend I came back, I was like, wait, why is there a little park over there? Then I went to college, and I went back every 5 months, and I said, wait, that building wasn't there. Then I work in Shanghai, and I came back one time a year. Now we have robot at hometown restaurant. I saw some dude in Twitter. He was on a post saying 90% of Chinese people own their own home. He asked Grok to confirm struggles with it about how is it ownership is a lease. Then ends by saying one word, interesting. Yes, I think is it 50-year leases or is it 100-year land leases by the government? But there is no. The government always, when the time comes, the government will renew your lease. It's 100 years, right? Yeah, or 99 years. Yeah. Like technically all land is still owned by the government, which is understandable. It's a socialist country. Meanwhile, we're at the precipice of 50-year mortgages, which is basically just renting to your fucking bank. Okay? And they don't have any property taxes in China. We pay property taxes. They don't. They just have a 99-year lease structure that gets renewed automatically, pretty much. So not only are we renting out the property that we think we own to the bank, but we're also still obviously giving money to the fucking federal government or the state government in the form of property taxes. Can transfer the lease? Yes, of course. Is a 70-year lease. You pay 160 yuan renewal fee at the end, at least in the province I grew up in. No one really even knows that because practically no leases have expired yet. Yeah. Look at Shenzhen, the past and the present. Shenzhen City, 39 years apart. 1984, this is what it looked like. 2023, this is what it looks like. You can't deny results. Okay, that's it. You can cope, you can seethe, you can get mad, you can say, why can't we have that here? I think it's more productive to look at that and say, why can't we have that here? What will it take? I wish we could. Minor thing about the special economic zones started in the Pearl River Delta in the southern China around Guangzhou, Shenzhen, and Xiamen. And a decade later, Shanghai was added. Your point is still correct, though. Is there any way in the U.S. looks like that? Yeah, everywhere in the U.S. looks like that. It's just in fucking reverse. Look at industrial towns and what it looks like now versus what it looks like what it looked like in the fucking 70s. And you will see the exact reversal of that image. Maybe not to that degree. Have you been to a fucking rural town? Go to a coal town. Go to Detroit. Go to Gary, Indiana. Gary, Indiana is a great example of this. Go to fucking Buffalo. Go to Pittsburgh. Go to any number of different American cities, what it used to look like versus what it looks like now. Even the ones where there are still a shit ton of people living in it and a real, like people living in it, people still working, things of that nature. Like they have deteriorated in comparison to where they were 30, 40 years ago. Anyway, it doesn't mean that they're like. The thing is, I'll give you one last example of this before I move on back to the Epstein stuff. Okay, it's kind of like this. When I say socialized medicine is fantastic, just look at France. Nobody brings up the million different awful shit that France has done throughout its history, or the ongoing versions of violence that exist in France. When I say we should have a socialized housing structure similar to Vienna, right? Red Vienna, nobody turns around and says, well, have you considered that, the Austrian history is not so great? No one does that. But when you actually make a comparison in China in terms of development, everybody starts hitting like as many lines as they fucking possibly can. One must ask the question, why? Why is it? Is it because it's like extra violent and extra bad and far worse? Part of the reason why China can have Shenzhen and Shanghai is the fact that it's still developing. Most of these cities were built on foreign direct investment and industrialization. The U.S. did have that for years, but it let it go as it moved up the value chain. China needs to be careful to avoid the same things. I mean, yeah, this is true, but it seems like they're still heavily invested in being a producer nation. So we should hate all historical examples equally, you mean? No. No. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there are moments where the historical examples are relevant. Okay? Yes, if we're talking about colonial extraction, then yeah, it is fucking relevant to bring that up, to bring that history up. Okay? But if I'm talking about high-speed rail and you slam some other random shit in there, like, oh, cultural revolution, whatever the fuck, like, I'm just like, what do you mean? Like, what? This is not. It's like if I were to tell you, what's a beautiful part of America? The rich tapestry of American existence is that it is a phenomenally diverse country, okay? And you just turned around and immediately were like, whoa, hold on, George Washington was a slaver, Henry Kissinger, the nuking Japan twice, Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam War, Trail of Tears, genocide. It's like, okay, man, I just said America as it currently exists is a fucking, is a very diverse country, and I like that. Like, calm down. You know? That's it. I don't have to like constantly bring all that shit up when I'm talking about America, right? Anyway, are you going to Macau? No. All right. By the way, later today, in a couple hours, almost in an hour and 30, we are going to be heading to a very famous Shanghai tailor, and I'm going to be getting like the traditional Chinese tailored jacket and suit. You know, the same type of suit that many goats, including but not limited to Mao Zedong and Xi Jinping, have worn and continue to wear. Yeah. I'm becoming Lemon Bro watching you do shits in China. Yeah, that's why I was Lemon Bro, because I was envious. Oh, speaking of Lemon Bro, look at this. The Bilibili team gave me this. I'm gonna be handing these off to people that come up to me today. Not to encourage stream snipers, but they made Bilibili Lemon Bro keychains. Yeah. All right, let's continue with Jeffrey Epstein now.
And once that decision was made, it just sort of created this snowball effect, and Trump is living with it, or I guess maybe a better phrase is karma. This is political karma, the law of action and reaction. You promise you're going to do something, then you reverse yourself, and then it already becomes this massive political issue that just becomes very difficult to escape.
And what's the mood inside the White House over this, and and you've done reporting on this, how do insiders feel about what would happen if they approached the president on different ways of managing this?
Oh, the people I've spoken to who talk to the president say, look, we don't talk about this with him because he's just going to get angry and lose his temper. And as a result, that's how you're seeing, or that's why you're seeing him act in this way. The White House is bothered by this release of emails from the Democrats because it was released in a strategic way, a political way, to coincide with the ending of the shutdown. Also, the sort of most, eyebrow-raising email, the one from Epstein to Ghislaine Maxwell, that the Democrats released, they purposely redacted the name of the victim. And from what we understand, that victim, Virginia Giuffre, was a person who was not a victim of Donald Trump. In addition to that, had testified, had written, had spoken, had publicly said that Donald Trump didn't sexually assault her. She didn't know of Donald Trump sexually assaulting anyone, and that she had good relations with Donald Trump, friendly and legal, warm relations with him. And the fact that the Democrats had redacted that really bothers the White House, because the Democrats essentially sort of got one over on them, and they spent an entire day on defense. And this is a White House that likes to drive the narrative, not have the narrative driven against them. But obviously they were in a situation where they were just on that defensive crouch and on a back foot.
You know, it is interesting with the discharge petition, which does seem like it will go, and I use the words too, but this vote on the House floor, where the full House will vote on calling for the full release from the Justice Department of the so-called Epstein files. But that doesn't mean they'll be released, because then the Senate has to vote on it and the president would have to sign it into law there. So the president can stop this. The question is, why is he fighting so hard? Is it clear to you why he's fighting so hard, therefore, and why he's used so much capital and had Speaker Mike Johnson use so much capital to keep this vote from happening?
Well, this is how Donald Trump is. If he doesn't want something, he fights tooth and nail to make it not happen. And if he wants something, he does that as well to make it happen. Here he doesn't want it to happen, and he's just going to fight tooth and nail. And he doesn't matter how many sort of rakes he's going to step on in the process in doing it. He fights. Sometimes the way he fights hurts him. You saw, for instance, and I referenced in the piece in Axios today, in 2017, in the Russia investigation, if Donald Trump had sort of let FBI Director James Comey go and just, do some typical law enforcement work, it probably would have just blown over. But instead, Donald Trump fired James Comey, and that triggered the Russia investigation. Then there was COVID, and the way he handled COVID, he got a lot of criticism for it, and so he called that a hoax, and people didn't understand, well, what's he actually calling a hoax? The other day on Sunday, Donald Trump was asked about the affordability crisis on Fox News in a friendly interview. And he called the affordability crisis a con job. So Donald Trump sort of reacts very negatively to criticisms and issues that reflect badly on him, or that his critics say reflect badly on him. And he doesn't always react in a way that helps him. Sometimes he doubles down, or he gets so heavy-handed that it winds up making the story bigger and making the story more negative for him. And I think that's what you're seeing here. Had he gone along with his campaign trail promise,
I think it's really fucked up that no one is considering how Trump feels after losing his best friend. Okay? Do you know how difficult it is to lose your best friend? One that you had a shared interest, that one that you had the same hobbies with, that you would have unique shared experiences with. Who is he supposed to do that stuff with? J.D. Vance? And no, I'm not talking about Charlie Kirk. I'm talking about Jeffrey Epstein. There's people talking about Charlie Kirk in the chat. No, I'm talking about Jeffrey Epstein. Enigmas never age, Jeffrey. Who is he going to send birthday cards to now that Jeffrey's dead?
We have a...
Okay. Who? Shinzo came to my mind at first, not gonna lie. Oh yeah, he does love Shinzo. It's actually true. Every day is another beautiful secret. You and I, Jeffrey, every day we share together. He stopped doodling since then. Oh my God, you're right. Oh my God. Ever since he lost the light of his life, he has stopped doodling. Jeffrey was the guy who encouraged him to doodle more. And now he's gone. You think Trump and Epstein hooked up? Maybe. Jeffrey Epstein, power broker. Jeffrey Epstein, Dershowitz tells me Obama called him to ask him what's going on with Israel. We should discuss. Shut the fuck up. Dude, no, stop. Barack Obama, god damn it, dude. God damn it. This man literally fucking hung out with Rashid Khalidi, okay? And Edward Said. And Ali as well. Ali Abu Nima. I didn't even know that the third guy, the famous photo is literally Obama sitting at the table with Edward Said and Rashid Khalidi. Unbeknownst to even someone like myself, the third guy at that table was Ali Abu Nima. For those who don't know, yes, Electronic Intifada's very own Ali Abu Nima was at the table with Barack Obama. That guy asking advice from Alan Dershowitz on this shit is so ridiculous because he knows better. He knows better. Also, look at these cutie pies. They have become besties, which is really funny because like Farley around Will is an entirely different demon versus Farley outside of Will's sphere of scent and influence. He is very different. First, he like loses his mind, loses his shit, and then finally he gets depressed. And then I think he's actually reached a new stage now where he's like, okay, this is recognition. I have to live with this massive demon here. It's acceptance. He's decided she's my only friend now in this world. I like how you see Kaya's drool on the side of the car. Yeah, she's a drooly girl. Don't call Kaya a demon. Kaya is a demon. Kaya used to be a much bigger demon, though. She's like much chiller now. Farley thinks Will died to self-suck. True. All right. So, couple things. One, anarchist militants have waged terror campaigns in the United States and Europe, conspiring to undermine the foundations of Western civilization through their brutal attacks, which is, again, Nazi sentiment. The State Department will designate these four Antifa groups as foreign terror organizations. That's another thing that we're going to be talking about. Also, Trump is at 33% approval on immigration among Indies. That is an atrocious number for him. Okay? As I told you, as I said time and time again, as I repeated myself a million times over. Sometimes you say, Hasan, why do you repeat yourself so much? It's like, yo, I repeat myself because it's a necessity, okay? Because unfortunately, these problems are unchanging. But I told you this in the lead up to the election. And I told you this in the aftermath of the election victory for Trump. That people were going to see the Republican legislation and experience the Republican legislation and realize maybe this wasn't a good idea. I need you to understand this, okay? This has always been the fucking case. What is this? Make it stop. Asmund shatters the dipshit meter. Oh my God, my goat is coming after Asmongold? No way. Anyway, let's get back to this. Sorry. What I was saying is, I was just looking at something here. What I was saying is, Republicans think they like Republican voters think they like Republican policy. But once they actually experience Republican policy, they fucking hate it. Okay? Okay, Republicans think they don't. You're right. My apologies. They don't think. But they assume that because they're heavily propagandized into believing this kind of nonsense, they assume that they will be better off if a Republican is in charge. they are told a lie that these policies, once implemented, about this is like China's gay as hell. Like, just watch the stream and you will see. Like Austin's been on the apps. That's so funny. There is like, I mean, it's true. Apple removes Chinese gay dating apps on government order. Okay, but that's Apple. Blued and Finca, two of China's most popular gay dating apps, suddenly disappeared from Apple's Chinese app store, fanning fears among LGBTQ people. Dude, that's Apple. Wait, this happened yesterday? Okay, I'm gonna go ask people if it's like still available on Huawei. Because guess what? Not everything you read in news media is as it seems, is all I'm saying when it comes to stuff like this. Especially considering that even the likes of Newsweek, for example, those apps are super fucking popular. For the record, those apps are super popular. For the record, just so you know. And I assume, I mean, I might be totally wrong on this, but I assume they might have done it for like data related reasons, like privacy related reasons, as far as like, it's kind of like Grindr. I think Grindr was about to be sold. Grindr was about to be sold to a Chinese company, and then they refused to. Yeah, see, Top G is correct. We tried to buy Grindr and expand it to China, but your Congress blocked the sale because they feared of being outed. Literally, Grindr was supposed to be sold to a Chinese company, I'm pretty sure, and the American government literally blocked that deal from happening because they were like, no, too many of our dudes are sucking penises on there. Too many dudes in Congress are sucking penises on there. We can't let like the Chinese get backdoor access into this. This is a real thing that took place. And I assume that this is basically the reverse version of that. Like the Chinese government probably doesn't want, like any sort of Western software or hardware to have access to information about, like, you know, LGBT Chinese people. But it's kind of funny. Your hours are insufficient and your content is lacking. Shut the fuck up, Top G. I did 16 hours. Suck my dick. Okay? I did not even 16. I did 17 hours. I was on camera for 17 hours yesterday. I crawled back into bed and I passed out and I woke up and instantly started streaming. But yeah, I haven't seen this, but it is pretty funny because Austin just downloaded this app. Anyway. Let's blast off. Let's get started because there's so much to talk about. Is China day 5? Brother, Austin downloaded the app and the Chinese government said no more. That's crazy. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Oh, also, it's obviously Thursday, November 13th here. Or Thursday, November 13th there in Los Angeles, 1:50 p.m. It's 5:50 Friday, 14th here in China. China day 5, Epstein leaks threatened Trump shutdown. Trump shutdown over, Fetterman down, Variety profile, Shanghai suit, stream later. Get in now. It's Friday for you. Why are we not dancing? Stop. We'll do that tomorrow when it's Friday for you guys. I operate off of LA time, remember? Where's Mufasa? I operate off of LA time, remember? Can you show off the fit? I will. Hold on. Is it Austin's birthday again? No, we're done with Austin's birthday. We've done too much Austin birthday, okay? What's the future like? I mean, the future is sick. The future is Pog. Yes, I have the Fetterman fall. Don't worry. I will do Mufasa Friday tomorrow because technically it's Friday here, but I'm operating off of LA time, man. Jesus Christ. It's not Friday for you guys. It's Friday just for me. Y'all want to be Chinese so bad that you want to be on Beijing time. Yeah, you get 2 Fridays. All right, anyway, let's blast off. But yeah, one of the coolest things that happened yesterday was that Will and I have been looking for Chinese brands, right? We've been looking for Chinese fashion brands. And we've been looking for Chinese fashion brands this entire time. And we keep asking, young people in China and just like whoever, what the Chinese brands are, right? Like what the poppin' Chinese brands are. And they just kept telling us, nah, Chinese brands are, it's not that great. It's not that great. And I literally think it's because a lot of young people in China, at least the ones that we talk to, all were so invested in like foreign brands that they just kept like, they think their own brands, like they think that Chinese brands are not that good. And it could not be further from the fucking truth. I'm dressed up. I'm dripped up right now with the Chinese brand up and down. Look at this. Hold on. Look. I got these as well. This is, I don't know if you can see because it's very dark, but yeah. It's called Army Fatigue. Person Soul are a Chinese brand. Oh, I've heard that one too. But the brand is called Army Logic Vintage Fashion. And honestly, it is fucking crazy. I was watching the VODs of you trying on the fit, and a lot of the comments are like, oh, these foreigners are unexpectedly into Chinese style. I think it's just that everyone in China grew up with Chinese aesthetics, so we're used to it. Yeah, it's so funny that like it's funny that like when we asked about this shit, when we asked for like Chinese brands, they were just like, it's fine. Like don't get Chinese stuff. It's boring. It's like what the Chinese shushu wear, the unks wear here. Which I guess is true technically. Yeah, go get they're like, go get something good. go get something good instead. Wow, this is sick. Person soul. Oh, I can't wait to show this to Will. He's gonna fucking flip. This is it? Whoa. What the hell? This is like cyber cowboy. Wow. There's some really fucking cool stuff. Anyway. But yeah, I was like, we were late for the boat, right? We were late for the boat that we were about to go to on the river. And I was like, we have to go upstairs for a second. We have to go upstairs for a second. We also had a really interesting situation with this brand. I don't know what it's called, but it's a Japanese one. But anyway, I got this jacket from. But the person that was ringing us up had literally never encountered a fucking credit card. Okay? They had never encountered a credit card. I'm not even kidding. It was like a young dude, and he tried to ring us up with a credit card, and he would like shove the wrong side of the credit card, like the side that doesn't even have the chip, into the machine. I was like, I cannot believe it. Like I have never experienced that in my life. It was shocking. He was just like, I don't know what to do. Like I've literally never purchased anything or have been in a situation, as in, the years that I've been in the service industry, I've never had to put a credit card into the pay machine. You're so American, bro. No, that's unique, man. That's fucking unique. Because it's not like they are a cash only business. They don't have any cash whatsoever. They don't use cash at all. They're so used to the digital pay system here that they don't even know what a credit card looks like, man. It's crazy. I'm telling you, it is the most insane thing I have ever experienced. Yeah, it's WeChat, WePay, or Alipay. Not many people use those apps in China. Xiaohongshu and Seoul are what we use the most. It's for data for sure. What? CBC might scare of the US knowing which member is queer. Wait, what do you mean? Oh, the Bluey or whatever, the gay dating apps. Yeah, this was funny as well. Hold on, this was a funny moment. This is I'll take it, but here. You know who we are?
Okay, well, wait.
No. Oh, okay. All right, cool.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
I mean, no one's here to ask, actually. So they're supposed to go to this dinner place, but are we still going?
Most of the SCA is heading that way. Malaysia is all QR code based payments. You almost 40, Unc. You're not gonna get away with it forever. Yeah, I know. Where do you stream these? This was on Will's stream. Oh yeah, BDBD users notice something about you. Okay, here come the statements. Okay, here come the statements. Get a suit done. I'm going to. Does it feel weird to be streaming at 5 a.m. yet, or are you still on LA time? No, it does feel weird to be streaming at 5 a.m. This morning I woke up at 3 again on my own, and then I passed out, and I basically got up at like 4:50. Yeah. Chinese netizens getting involved is pretty funny. Where is it? Yeah. Apparently, they posted like Asmongold talking shit. Absolutely ridiculous. 2 foreign troll influencers forcefully mock China visiting blogger Hasan. Who's the real hypocrite here? Pretend to be objective, but now showing their true colors. The lemon envy crown is about to change hands. Asmongold, extreme right wing, no social life, never goes out. A game streamer who started with WoW and recently shifted to the political commentary, slightly more popular than Hasan. It's worth mentioning Hasan and Asmongold's dad were very close, but Asmongold's dad recently passed away. His last words on Hasan's stream were wishing Hasan a happy birthday. I don't know how they truly feel about this. XQC knows nothing, just messing around. Previously promoted gambling and was opposed by Hasan, leading to a feud. He nitpicks every action and opinion of Hasan, unrelated ideology, not on a level, just treated as an R-word entertainment. Where's the double standard? One shot at him and used tear gas. The other just verbally questioned him for a few minutes before letting him go. Can he really judge by the same standard? This guy should stick to what he's good at, playing games, watching dating shows, or biting his toenails. He really doesn't have the brain capacity to tackle serious topics. That's crazy. Bro, you guys are putting out such an insane amount of content. I watched most of your stream yesterday, then woke up to a 6-hour out on VOD on Will's channel. Absolute content demons law. Yeah. But of course, that's the good. But then there's also the bad. Or this is also the good. Bilibili uploaders are working. Hasan's group stroll around the bund. Hasan's group tours the bund. America's top political streamer. Lemon Bro travels in Shanghai. Hasan tours Shanghai pedestrian street. There's a lot of these sorts of videos out there. They're popping off on BDBD, which is sick. And then I saw this. His body was so incredibly large, yet his head and face were so small. Okay? What the fuck is this? His body was so incredibly large, yet his head and face were so small. When he was sitting down, I didn't even realize how big he was just by looking at his face. And I, a woman, am much smaller than him, but my head and face are much bigger. And when I gain weight, my face gets bigger first. That's a compliment, right? Dude, how is his proportion so good? Tall, muscular, and a small head. What the fuck? The head to body and head to shoulder ratios are amazing. Have to admit, this blogger is really handsome. Can't describe how handsome. Fits the image of a tall Western man in our eyes. Young Stalin. Turkish descent, too westernized. I told you, man. I told you. That's right. Small head is a good thing in China. You pay way more than 20K for these comments, lol. Yeah. 20,000 yuan. Those are Twitch chatters who translated something into Chinese. Come on, lol. I think you can kind of tell when someone is a Twitch chatter and someone is not. You could cop the river ward fit. Oh shit, that is true. That's fire. East Asia loves small heads and small faces. One of my family members has literally said that small face equals compliment. Yeah, it's like when you eat a treat and you say, not too sweet. I use that as a negative because I want something to be super sweet. But people in Asia are like, oh, not too sweet. A compliment. This video popped off of you getting the little red book. I can't tell how many views does this have. I have one too. My advisor gave it to me. It's obvious he really liked the gift. His first instinct upon receiving it was to share it, haha, but others seemed. Did you cut your hair, bro? No, I didn't. The video of you and Austin on the train got 4 million views on Bilibili. Oh, shit. Nice. Oh, 105,000 top left. Damn. Okay, the Bilibili videos are starting to pop off, dude. Did you ever get the bag to work with it? What do you mean? You can tell where the comments are from. They have their locations next to their comments. They were all provinces in China. Oh, IRL Toolkit and Bitty. I did get it to work. Yes. And yes, I know my I like that you said your Vanity Fair article. It's literally Variety. You linked it. Yes. Please drink some caffeine. You look and sound really tired. Yeah, it's 6 a.m. I just woke up. Calm down. Bro, post the Variety photos on your Instagram. They're really good photos. Sure. Anyway, yeah, this was actually really special. A chatter gave me here. I'll show you some of the stuff, but one stream sniper gave me exclusive One Piece stuff that is only available in Shanghai. Including this panda. Okay. One of the Chinese stream snipers gave me this, which is bird spit, right? It's like bird spit porridge. How do you say this? What is it called? And I will try this eventually. Or bird's nest, sorry. But it is bird spit, yeah. Nest spit. What is it called? Kopche? Is that what it is? No. Do not try it. I heard it's like rough to eat. But yeah, it's rice with bird's nest, which is bird spit. Put it in the fridge. Yanwo, he said it was a different name for it, but yeah, apparently it's sweet as well. I got this also for free from the brand because I really like this cologne. And this is what I was talking about. This is an English printed version of quotations from Chairman Mao Zedong. And it is literally like this right here is an incredibly rare cultural artifact. And it even has the first page removed. It starts off with workers of all countries unites from 1966. It's the English printed version from foreign languages press in Peking, 1966. Quotations from Chairman Mao Zedong. First edition, printed in the People's Republic of China. There's also like a protective cover between the photo of Mao. And the first page is removed. It's this, isn't that banned? Technically, no. There is not, I think there is not a first edition you can find. Like, there are some, but they're super rare that has like the first page not removed. Because of, but even though the first page is removed, it still has the foreword. So I don't know. I don't know what was in the first page. I'm literally reading the book about specifically this, but basically it's because of Lin Biao. Am I saying his name right? And the history of whether or not he was like, I think it was like in the aftermath of his death, there was assertions that he had betrayed Mao. And that he was like removed, like his legacy was tarnished, and he was removed from the due to an alleged coup plot. He was removed from the forward, but he still has the. Do you plan to address the hate campaign against Casey Tron? What? What hate campaign against Casey Tron? Like the regular, like the everyday one? What are you talking about? Like the same people that attack me all the time? Is that what you're saying? I'm in China, man. What is the book called? Quotations. Am I the only one hearing static? Probably. Why do you read chatters that have nothing to do with what you're talking about? I don't know, because I'm stupid. But wait, you guys are also hearing static? Is it when I speak? No. Okay. Some people are not hearing it. And some people are hearing it, it seems. But yeah, we got a lot of stuff. We got a lot of we got a lot of good stuff. We got a lot of fun stuff. I can't believe I'm getting cooked like this, but at least I'm getting compared to the GOAT. No static for me? Hell yeah. Nice. In any case, we have the Variety article as well, which I will be getting into. But yeah, China's been going great. I'm having a great time. And I'll look at the gay dating app. I'll look at the gay dating app thing in a little bit. Do they have Twitch in China, or do Chinese viewers watch through a VPN or something? Yes, a lot of Chinese people have VPNs. And they are totally tapped in. Like, they know. Like, it's like it's not like totally illegal or anything like that. It's just mostly just like, yeah. Are you going to apologies to the one chatter you yelled at yesterday? You reposted her TikTok about her saying she was just trying to make a joke. Yeah, I didn't even see the TikTok. I just reposted it. I saw that I was yelling at someone who was like making a statement. I'm sorry, chatter. I don't know why chatters do this. Like, what are you, the fucking hall monitor? What is this? Yeah, no harm, no foul. You know what I mean? Like, why are you scolding me? Do you want to get yelled at? Like, she or he made a joke about it, and you know, I'm sorry. What's the biggest surprise from China so far? I don't know. I'm such a China weeb in general, like, that nothing I've seen thus far has really been that shocking, except for how much people will literally fucking move through you. Okay? Like I said, Chinese people are very direct. They're very straightforward. Okay? If they want to go on a straight line, they are going to go on a straight line. And sometimes you're going to be in that straight line and they will just get you out of the way. Whether they're on a Vespa, an e-bike, or a little train, like a little baby train that goes through a mall, is crazy, but I have never been anywhere in the world where a bunch of little tiny old ladies, eyes, okay, will just straight up be like, move. Also, I've been all around the world, as you guys know, and this is the first time I've had like the whole crowds forming everywhere we go to look at us thing. Like, it didn't happen in Japan, but only because we rarely ever left Tokyo when we were in Japan, so it doesn't count, right? But even in Shanghai, a light version of the Blue app remains available on Chinese app stores, according to checks by the BBC. Some other gay and bisexual dating apps are also available in the country, like Jitgo and Jacked. You think the rest of the group is enjoying it? They are loving it. But I knew I was going to love it anyway. But I'm glad that the rest of the group is also enjoying it now, because I'm glad that the rest of the group is also enjoying it, because I was worried that they were not going to like it as much. But it's also impossible not to like it, man. It's just... Like if you like developed major metropolitan cities with a lot of art, history, culture, good public transit, cool amenities, why the fuck wouldn't you enjoy China? They have all of that and more. You know what I mean? Girl, they about to jump you in Chengdu Gay City if you don't twerk. Yeah, I'm gonna get my ass beat then because I don't know how to twerk Chinese style. Yeah, the Vanity Fair article came out as well, but talk to me about Fetterman news, man. All right, dude, here, okay, here.
All right, when we see it, you see it. Got a little bit of breaking news. Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman took a fall near his home. His staff just sent out this statement on X. Here it is. They explained during an early morning walk, Senator Fetterman sustained a fall near his home in Braddock. They say as out of an abundance of caution, he was transported to a hospital in Pittsburgh. Upon evaluation, it was established he had something called a ventricular fibrillation flare-up that led to the senator feeling lightheaded, falling to the ground, hit his face with minor injuries. Now, Senator Fetterman, who is often pretty, he's funny the way he talks, right? Here's what he had to say after getting a ride in the hospital. He said, if you thought my face looked bad before, wait until you see it now. By all accounts, he's doing well, getting observed, and we'll continue following this story, of course.
What if he became a socialist now? I'm just saying. What if this flipped him back?
Senator has made headlines before for some health concerns, but he is choosing to strike a lighter tone. It sounds like he's grateful for the EMTs and doctors and nurses who are there to help him.
Now to the
We wish him a speedy recovery so that he can finally turn socialist once again. What happened to the fucking light in here we got? You sound like you just woke up. I did. I woke up. I mean, guys. I'm 同志们好，同志们好，同志们好. Everybody, I'm live. I'm alive. We're in Pudong, Shanghai, China, the People's Republic of China. And what I have to say to you is, 同志们好. Your sleep schedule must be destroyed. I mean, you already know. You already know what it is. It's the lemon bro, as they call me out here. The boat ride was awesome. Great. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I was live yesterday. I was live yesterday for how many hours? How many fucking hours was I live yesterday for? I didn't even eat dinner. I just came back. I didn't even eat dinner last night. I just straight up came back. Someone recorded Fetterman's fall. Oh, come on, Megaphonics. You stole M. Hud's thunder, dude. You just stole M. Hud's thunder? That's messed up. Yeah, for people saying what boat ride, this is part of the broadcast where I tell you about my personal news about what's going on in the world of Hasan, Hasan Piker. In between the time period where I'm pressing the stop streaming button and press the start streaming button, so help me God, that's what I'm gonna do. Even though there's like not really a lot of times, a lot of hours in the day that I was actually pressing the stop streaming button because I was live the entire day, like almost literally the entire day, with the exception of like a couple hours where I slept. I woke up yesterday. I took a shower. I started my live stream. Then, after that, I went throughout the entire day. We basically walked the entire city. Or not the entire city, but like the downtown, like Times Square part of Shanghai. And it was awesome. It was a phenomenal experience. Unhealthy amount of screen time, Lamau. Yeah, I know. Basically we went into Shanghai, no holds barred, unrestricted. They had like a very cool the camera's a little out of focus. Really? What is happening? Hold on. Ay. Is it better now? Have you been reading your little red book? I have been. Hold on. Once again, you were late to stream. Made no apologies, gave only excuses. Yeah, exactly. Because I'm lazy. I'm bad. But also, where was I? Late night streams be going hard as fuck. Stay up, King. Okay, so yeah. Basically, what ended up happening is we had lunch. Okay. And then after that, we swapped over to Will's broadcast. And then we just literally tore the town up. You see, it's not the Asians don't find you attractive. It's just the Japanese and Koreans like the effeminate type, not Chinese. No, I think the Chinese beauty standards go in either direction because there's a lot of like there's a lot of attractive twinks that are super famous. How's jail? Spaceflight News, Blue Origin landed their first orbital rocket booster today, making them the second institution to do it ever. That's pretty crazy. But yeah. White Chinese should be on Chinese time, bro. Stop with the LA time. Yeah. I'm still LA time though. No matter what. Okay. I saw the Bilibili comments. I'm glad you guys are loving the Bilibili comments. Your Variety article went hard. Oh yeah, my Variety article came out as well. But what was I going to say? You called your shot so hard in this Variety interview. I've never seen pre-watch Piker pay off this hard. Yeah, I was farming mad aura in this Variety article. I'm not gonna lie. We'll get to it. I was aura farming in the Variety in the Variety article, straight up. Industrial complex is popping off on Bilibili. It's pretty fire. That makes me happy. Here it is. Bilibili uploaders are working. We'll get to all of that in a second. Basically, for those who didn't watch Will's stream after for those who watched Will's stream after, after after lunch, we just tore the town apart. Basically, went all up and down Shanghai. So many fans in Shanghai, but that makes sense. It's more international. My favorite is when a Chinese viewer comes up to me and tells me that his girlfriend loves watching me, and that his girlfriend is going to school in America, which is pretty funny. Trying to speedrun yesterday's stream. Pause. Yeah, I mean, we got a lot going on. No, it's not like your hater said you should stay in China. Damn, for once my haters have brought up a good point. I am not going to be staying in China, most likely. Hopefully I'll be able to come back into the United States of America, but I am enjoying my time quite a bit. She posted the TikTok of her watching. I can't go on TikTok, unfortunately. Yeah, we went viral. Chat, we went viral with this quote. Has this been one of your favorite places to travel to? Absolutely. 100%. Why do Western media act like you're in a government black site in China? What do you mean? I think you guys don't understand. You know how, like, I have a lot of ops because of Israel? A lot of State Department ops due to my takes on Israel. A lot of pro-Israel ops. I also have a lot of anti-China ops as well, due to my position that I think many would consider to be normal if they just thought about it for a brief moment, which is that China is just another country, just like any other country. There's good, there's bad, there's criticisms that you can make, which I do. And also, there's a lot of good. The people are great. The food is amazing. The culture is amazing. And I am very fortunate. I'm very fortunate to be able to actually experience it firsthand, right? But of course, all the foreign affairs people who are aware of me are not very fond of my they're not very fond of my China trip. Hasan Piker slowly becoming the new Jackson Hinkle, doing Chinese propaganda for a living. Insane. Yeah, it's stuff like this. It's stuff like this that I find to be so strange. Because, like, you should be able to go to countries, okay? Like, there is no comparison between China and, like, Israel, for example. You know what I mean? Like, nobody gives me this much grief when I go to Japan. Okay? Like, nobody's like, dude, I can't believe you've traveled to Japan and you love. Oh, God, this guy's mentality is so stupid. 3 people with almost identical foreign policy stances. Oh, my God. Finnish PhD candidate. Oh, my God. Why is NatSeg Twitter like this? I mean, it makes sense. It makes fucking sense. It makes sense. No one cared where iShowSpeed did it. I'll be the one to say it. Yes, because iShowSpeed's fans are like all 14. And they don't actually spend a lot of time on Twitter, or the ones that do spend time on Twitter will look to a statement like this and go, what the fuck are you saying? Unk, you're stupid. That's the difference. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. They probably can't even explain your foreign policy stance. Who cares, lol? I know. Cuba trip would have been just as bad. I mean, Cuba trip would have probably landed me in prison in the aftermath. But yeah, nobody should ever be linking me 80 like tweets. I'm gonna be honest. That's crazy. You're on red now? Oh, I've officially made it onto Xiaohongshu. Xiaohongshu.
What's up, guys? I'm Hasan Piker. I'm gonna be on Xiaohongshu, the red book, the red note. I'm traveling to Shanghai from Beijing. I want to leave you with some parting words. Guangzhou. Is that good? Hell yeah.
It's so strange to remember the highs and lows of China's popularity on the U.S. Remember the peak xenophobia of COVID and the peak cinephilia of the red note TikTok debacle. Yeah. Your streams have made my dad a China simp. He's a STEM guy, so it wasn't too hard to convert him. But the way you describe China's place in the global economy and that they are actually only interested in developing their own infrastructure and place in trade, not trying to take over the world or whatever got through to him on the topic of China at least. Yeah, don't say that out loud. That's the reason why all my fucking foreign policy ops, my State Department ops are going crazy. Okay? That's the reason. That's the real reason. Because for iShow Speed, it was just like he's just having fun, right? He's just out here having fun in China and showing how wonderful China is. But like when I do that, people also go, well, you're an adult. You're an adult who has an adult fan base who is very dangerously entertaining the notion that like you know, very, very dangerously showing that China is just like any other country, a major power in the world. You know what I mean? But it's just so stupid, especially because doing this about China is exceptionally stupid. Because once again, it's fucking 30% of our trade, man. Like, it's the manufacturing hub of the planet. So much trade. We do so much trade with China. Like, it's not even like a country that is a full adversary that's like cut off from the rest of the world. Like there are a lot of, look, here, I'll give you an example. Okay, I'll give you an example with India. Are there a lot of issues with Indian governance? Absolutely. Is India a beautiful country? Of course. Imagine like this level of animosity. Like if I just travel to India, do you think all of these foreign policy accounts, all these like NatSec Twitter accounts, would they be freaking the fuck out being like, oh, this white boy's in India, bro. He's showing the good side of India. I mean, I'm sure there'd be a lot of racists who would do that, right? But like I'm talking about the type of people right now that exist in like polite society that write for Foreign Policy magazine and stuff like that. I can't believe he's visited France. France still controls the currency of West Africa. Like, nah, I can't believe he went to France. Dude, what the fuck? It is what it is. And this doesn't mean that there aren't like, there aren't issues in China, right? Like, that's not even what I'm saying. It's just so stupid that people do this thing, but it's expected. What is NatSec? National security. People who are LARPing for free, like they are CIA agents. Why China blocked gay dating apps? I don't think that's true. I think you saw that on Twitter. I don't know if that's true. Chatter, this is exactly what I mean. If you get your notes from Twitter, which by the way, like you'll see, we're about to go to Chengdu. What's really funny